Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to Referrals Podcast. Do we have an episode for you today? Hold on to your hat, get out your notebook, get your sharpest pencil or your best pen, because you're going to be taking some notes. If you want to learn how to grow a team, if you want to learn how to grow a brokerage, if you want to learn how to grow a company, we have the answers for you today. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am so excited about ReferralMasteryAcademy.com. That's right. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor before we even jump into all this. That's right. I'm going to make you wait for the information today so that I can tell you about ReferralMasteryAcademy.com. You got to check it out. How did ReferralMasteryAcademy.com come about? Well, it's all of our courses, all of our classes, all of our teachings, all under one roof. ReferralMasteryAcademy.com. People all the time. We have all these 30-day challenges. We have Event Mastery. We have 30 mornings. We have Sweet Dream. We have all these courses. What if you could get them all and just it's one small monthly investment? That's Referral Mastery Academy. So people aren't having to invest over here, do this class, invest over here, do this class. They can take it. They can build their own 12-month curriculum, and it's a winner. ReferralMasteryAcademy.com. Which reminds me also, we have 30 mornings coming up starting in January. 30 mornings is you building your ultimate morning ritual. That's right. If you want to win the day, win the morning. If you want to own the day, own the morning. And we're going to teach you how to develop your own ultimate morning ritual based on the Miracle Morning Method that Hal Elrod and myself described in the Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents book. So check it out at 30mornings.com. If you like it, maybe you want to get it for a little bit less, go check out ReferralMasteryAcademy.com. You can invest less on a monthly basis, and you get all of our courses. So check it out. I appreciate you. I've also got to give a big shout out to Lisa Swanson. She's a realtor out of Arizona. She said, Michael, thank you for making such an impact on my life. First, my broker gave me a copy of 7L, and I got to meet you in Scottsdale. But the biggest impact has been these last 2 years. You have poured into Gen on Facebook with the Referral Podcast and the 30 Mornings classes. It truly has changed my life. Lisa Swanson. Also, she said, P.S., come out to spring training and we'll have a ball. She knows what's close to my heart, right? That's a great invitation to spring training for MLB, Major League Baseball, and I can't wait to get out there. Lisa, thank you so much for that review, and I appreciate you listening to the podcast every single week. Ladies and gentlemen, right to the heart of the matter, today we're talking about team building. We're talking about brokerage building. We're talking about company building. And I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite Star Power stars back in the day. It's not part of his intro, but one of my favorites. It's just like he has this quiet demeanor about him, so humble, so then he starts talking, everybody shuts up. I don't know if you guys remember the E.F. Hutton commercial. There used to be this great commercial that was like, when E.F. Hutton talks, everyone listens. And it's just like when Craig Hartranft talks, everybody listens. And part of it is he speaks like 1 decibel lower than like you can almost hear. So you're leaning in. He makes you lean. And then the stuff is so good. It's just like, oh my God, why doesn't this guy talk louder or more? So today he is talking more. He is talking louder. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest is Craig Hartramp. Commitment, accountability, dependability, versatility. What do you want, right? These are the 4 words that describe one of our guests today. Craig Hartramp is a realtor out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He started out in sports, then the Air Force, Police Department, and finally a realtor. His team is consistently ranked in the top 5 at a national level, not top 5% people, top 5. Number 1 at a local level. and even ranked in the top 250 teams out of all of the teams in the country in the Wall Street Journal. But where he really excels, in my opinion, is creating a winning team culture. First and foremost, Craig Hartranft, welcome to Referrals Podcast.
Thank you for having me. Look forward to it.
Did you just talk quieter than normal, just to feed the point? So, and here's the thing, right? None of this happens without a team. None of this happens without great people along your side that are buying into the same vision and helping you establish this team. Our next guest today is Jim McPhail. He joined the world of real estate by joining Craig's team as an agent in 1996. Jim spent his first 20 plus years on the team specializing in representing homebuyers. The last few years, Jim's role has evolved to include team leader. Perfect match, by the way. Now, Jim works alongside Craig in leading the team and its 25 plus agents and administrative staff, overseeing the team's operations and focusing on the recruiting, training, and development of incoming agents. Gentlemen, welcome to Referrals Podcast. Jim, appreciate you.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Met both
Michael,
of these guys. Yeah, go ahead, Craig. Yeah.
You're showing your age when you talk about E.F. Hutton.
I know. And I've got the United Airlines commercial on my YouTube channel. It has like 150,000 views or it's some insane number. And it's the one where he's like, we got fired this morning. And everybody's like, what? Yeah, I got fired by an old friend. In today's world, it's about faxing, maybe an email, maybe a call. And it was like, this is before all technology, but he was talking about getting fired because they didn't keep the relationship with the client. And it's such a great commercial, but it's like, it's so old that it's like grainy, If Bigfoot walked along the back of it, it would be a perfect for that. So
That's great.
All right. So I got to preface this by telling the listeners and viewers, I love them so much. I've got to set the scene. So, Craig and Jim hired me to be a part of their team advance, not team retreat, team advance. Everybody needs to maybe note that right off the bat. We're going to advance, not retreat next year. Love that. And so I get there, and I really hadn't met the team members. The only people I knew were Craig and Jim. So I walk in, and first of all, sometimes when somebody walks into a meeting, they can be what's called a pleasant distraction, right? They're like, oh, the guest is here. No, in this case, they're honed in, super respectful. All of their nonverbals, all of their body language is facing the three people that are on the panel in the front of the room. They're all super attentive. They're all setting up in their seats. This is not staged. This isn't something that was fake. This is them being great learners and wanting to learn from the three top agents on the team who happened to be on the panel. I sat in the back. I watched it. I just watched. Like, it was just like, this is so good. That's what I was thinking this is so good. And then I started to worry. I had doubts. It's like, shit, am I going to be good enough for this? I mean, shoot, am I going to be, it's like, do I have enough good stuff for this? So I literally took 2 pages of notes on my phone from the panel that they had. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I got to share like these things. And so I got a chance to share that a little bit. But what was amazing about the next hour and a half is I got to see magic happen as far as like what team building should really be all about. Like the thing that I love is there was love in the room. Let's not sugarcoat it. There was love in the room. There was generosity in the room, lots of value. There was appreciation in the room. They appreciate. But what I got was a growth environment, an environment of growth. And when I saw that, I got the chance to interact with everybody while we're eating lunch and afterwards. And it just like, they love being on this team. I even asked. This whole podcast is just me talking about how great you are. That's our show today, people. And you guys are like, all right, but it's like, I said, all right. One of the first questions I want you guys to know, I went right into the principles of Gen Gen. Gen Gen is about love, generosity, appreciation. It's about giving back. It's about giving first. It's about giving thanks. And then I go right into love. It's like, what do you love the most about real estate? Ladies and gentlemen, I did not say, what do you love the most about being on this real estate team? I did not. I said, what do you love the most about real estate? All the answers. Top producers, medium producers, new people. It was, I love being on this team because of blank. Support, opportunity for growth, opportunities, what they do. This person right next to me helping me, my best friend. And I'm telling you, it was just special. And it was magical. And you guys made that happen. And it's like, let's share the secrets. Let's help spread the magic. You know what I mean? So do you guys do a team advance every year?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you feel that, let's start specific and then go from there. How does the team advance? How does having a team advance help build the culture or contribute to the culture?
Well, it doesn't start just at the advance. It leads up to the advance. And Jim, just chip in here if you agree with this. We have a culture that there is no mistakes on our team. They're just learning opportunities. Mm-hmm. And we create this culture for everyone to be vulnerable. And this is such a true statement. Jim and I and yourself had a great mentor, Howard Britton. And one of Howard's quotes, and Jim's the one that brings this quote up again. What's the quote, Jim?
Get out of curiosity and judgment is one of them. And then the other one is don't attack the person, attack the system.
Yeah, get out of judgment and get into curiosity. I mean, it's like that's one of the greatest quotes of all time, right?
Yep.
And then the second one was don't attack the person, attack the system. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Love those
and
two.
We have that culture where we're very vulnerable to share our learning opportunities throughout the year. So when we go into this advance, we're going into it saying, okay, what are those? And you didn't see that part in the morning is, what were our learning opportunities throughout the year that we can learn from and then move forward? And it's just amazing what the team members are willing to share because they know they're not going to get attacked.
But think about how powerful it is that you've created a room that's comfortable with that. First of all, you guys have probably shared your learning opportunities, right? You've been humble.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah, right. So you've been humble. You've been vulnerable. They model the behavior of the leader, right? So I love that. That's what I just saw in there is nobody was making fun of anybody. Nobody was better. That's what I mean. I think that's there was, what it was? There was no ego in the room. That's what it was. There was no ego in the room. And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, real estate, it's ripe with ego. And you built a team where there's no ego in the room. I mean, that's a beautiful. How would you describe your team culture? Maybe if you had to describe it in words, like how would you describe that to someone who maybe outside the business?
Well, I think it's what we just talked about is we're very, very open with each other, and we're willing to be vulnerable and learn from each other. We meet on a weekly basis, and it's basically just learning opportunities. And it's just so neat where I've been doing this since 1989. I walk into that room weekly, and I'm learning every week from the team. And you hear a compound interest, mm-hmm. It's compound learning for us. Mm-hmm. We have, how many agents is it, Jim? 15 agents? We have 15 agents there, and then our valuable admin team. And someone brings their learning opportunity, guess what? All other 20-some people have just learned from that opportunity. Where can you get that? and that's so powerful. So that's what describes our team. Jim, I'll let you share another.
Yeah, I was going to ask Jim the same question, right? How would you describe the team's culture?
Well, I think you heard a couple of people say this at our advance, Michael, but I think for a lot of the people on our team, especially anyone that's been there for any length of time, they really feel like it's a family. They truly feel that way. It's very open. We laugh together. We celebrate together. We share each other's pain together. So it's a very special environment.
One of our core values is excellent, and we share that before every meeting and before the huddles. And what it says, to operate with integrity, be our best possible selves, and be personally and professionally goal-oriented, focus on growth. If you take notice, personal is before professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim and I really try to focus that with our team, and it's just not words. We're more concerned about them growing personally than professionally, because if they go personally, professionally just follows. And they know they're just not words. We're very vested in them with where they are personally and how we I'm not saying we're going to be able to help, but we're there to support and assist. And if there's opportunities we can help them, that's what we want to do. And they know that.
So are you meeting in person weekly?
We are. We're doing a huddle by Zoom on Mondays. And then Wednesday, we bring everyone in the office for a 15-minute huddle.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. And then also, when that Wednesday in the morning, we have a listing agent meeting that's for an hour. And then that afternoon, we have a buyer's agent meeting we come in. So
your meetings are on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
What did you do? Oh, sorry, Jim, you wanted to add to that?
I was just going to say, and then once a month, we do a total team meeting. And then every other week, we do an admin meeting. So we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to be included, participate, share their concerns, thoughts, and learn from each other.
So what did you guys do during the quarantine and COVID and stuff like that? Did you just do it by Zoom instead of meeting in person?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other question is, okay, you guys are meeting regularly and quite often with your team. Why do a team advance? Right? I mean, you're literally meeting so often. What did you feel the team advance would give you above and beyond your regular weekly and monthly meetings?
Well, we're recapping the year of the learning opportunities that came up, and then we're going over our wins. What learning opportunities do we have? What did we tweak? Systems, again, comes back to systems, that we can move forward. Where did where didn't we learn yet? We identified, but we still, what systems that we put in place going into the new year and set those goals going into the new year. And that just recharges us again, saying, okay, here's our wins that we accomplished. Here we still need to improve on. Let's move forward as a team. And we talk about the personal wins. We talk about the personal learning opportunities. And then again, we're resetting going into the new year, saying, okay, here's our goal for the year.
And I think it helps. It gets us out of the office in a more informal environment. And we're not just talking about the day-to-day stuff anymore. We're talking about more big picture. We review our notes from, we go over all our sources of business. We want to be very transparent. So it goes over all our sources of business, where business is coming from. And then we take a look at what we said we were going to do in last year's goal planning in advance. And did we accomplish those things this year? Because the best things we do, we get from the team members. We brainstorm, and it's all little tweaks all the time, just little tiny tweaks, but it comes from the team members. So, we review, here's what we said last year, here's what we did, here's the improvements we've made. So it keeps everybody, I think, everybody understands that we're all an integral part.
Plus, you have really, really, really good speakers come in and speak. That's how it's different than your weekly and monthly meetings as well. So, all right. So so your core values? I've got excellence and integrity, right? What are there other core values?
Yes, service, communication, optimism, excellence, and dream big.
And reliability.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
And when we just came up with after this advance was to remind ourselves of being humble.
Mm.
We have had some growth, we have some success, but what's very, very important to us as a team is to still maintain that humble environment.
So service, communication.
Optimism.
I love communication as a core value. That's awesome. Optimism, reliability, excellence, and
Dream big.
dream big. Okay. So scored,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So
And then we have a
as it-
sentence that follows each one of those that gives a little definition as well.
So what are they? I want to know. Scored. So for those of you keeping track of acronyms per show, so our acronym is SCORED for their core values, right? SCORED, and it's service, communication, optimism, reliability, excellence, and
Dream big.
dream big, right? And then I love that. And then you've got stay hungry, stay humble as kind of a motto. And then what do you put under service? What
Service is to always go above and beyond to give our clients the best customer service we can offer.
All right. Communication.
Always provide clear and timely communication to our clients, coworkers, and outside vendors.
Optimism.
To maintain a positive outlook and environment no matter what we are faced with.
Reliability, Craig.
To be dependable and honest in all what we do.
Love that. And then excellence, Jim.
To operate with integrity, be our best possible selves, be personally and professionally goal-oriented and focused on growth.
Yeah, that definitely defines excellence. And then dream big, Craig.
We do not limit ourselves, letting us reach heights most people think impossible.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
Then we end with our vision statement. We're a real estate team constantly growing personally and professionally with raving fans for clients.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. And what's really cool is I got a chance. I mean, some people do the core values exercise. Some people, 99% of the people never do the core value exercise. So that's the first thing is if you don't have a core value for your team, what are your core values, right? I coached a high school football team. We established core values for the football team, right? So it's like I believe in core values right from the get-go. If they don't fit, people will exclude themselves. That's exactly that. You're like, why doesn't this person jive with what I'm doing? You don't have aligned core values. And if you don't know why that is, you've never established your own core values or your team's core values. So, and I got a chance to see it. It's like, this is not just painted on. This is not fake it till you make it core values. These are your core values, and love the team vision. That's first thing somebody should do if they're listening or watching this is sit down and make this happen.
And this was the team came up with these core values and the vision. We as the leaders did not come up with this.
Did it come out scored? I mean, literally, it came out with that acronym by accident.
There was some massaging with that because again, there was a variety of input from the different team members, but this came out of one of our advances, didn't it, Jim?
Yeah, there was a lot of questionnaires completed, and then we did a lot of brainstorming together.
I love it. I mean, what's a team's set of core values if the team doesn't set them? So that's a beautiful thing as well. So how let's do this first. Like last 5 years, what has the production been like for the team? I just want people to know what you've been doing in this smaller area in Pennsylvania, right?
Jim, when did you come into the leadership role?
It's all kind of a blur at this point, but I would say it's been about 5 years.
Okay, 5-6 years ago, I asked Jim to step out his buyer's agent role and come into he was a leadership through the buyer's agent role too. He would be doing the training and holding the buyer's agents accountable, but he has so much to offer here to the team, and so I asked him to be part of in the leadership. And when we did that, we were intentional about stepping out of the day-to-day and just focus on the leadership with himself. And then Jim's daughter is part of our team also, Danielle. Danielle's been with us since she was in high school, and now she's a mother of three, and she's still involved. And then Michelle's another lady who's been with us. She's been with us over 10 years too. So we formed this leadership team. And when we intentionally formed the leadership team, our business just took off. We were hovering around 275, 300 units probably 6, 7 years ago. And now we're averaging over 500 sales a year, close to 160 million volume in 2021 when we have a tough market. We have the same struggles as everyone else, the shortage of inventory and the multiple offers, and our buyers' agents working 3 times as hard, and they did a fantastic job this year. But again, with us being intentional, starting with the leadership, and then start having more of a clear direction, that's where our team took off.
Yeah, love that. I mean, that's it's different talking about all this stuff if it's like somebody that went from 50 to 100 transactions, right? We're talking about somebody that went from 250 to 500 transactions in, not a small market, but a smaller market and a tough market. And that shows the power of the team. It's not just you two, it's a team of agents who are making a dent in the area and helping a ton of people. So I love that.
The release of 7L in 2010 sparked a movement among business owners. Industry-changing Catalyst coaching, Referrals podcast, and annual summits were created as a result. And now we're excited to introduce the Referral Mastery Academy, the online university for everyone in Gen. When on the Academy campus, head over to the library, get your library card, and browse all of our free resources. Everything at the library is free. Or you can enroll as a student and have access to the library, plus all of our on-demand courses, where you can learn and implement at your own pace. Buy one course at a time. Finally, you have the option to go all in and join the Academy. Academy members get access to all of the on-demand courses, the library, and monthly live classes and challenges. Academy members pay $99 per month and have access to everything. Check it out today at referralmasteryacademy.com.
How long have your longest team members been on the team?
You want to take that one, Jim?
Sure. I would say we have a couple that are like 11 years, 10 years, 8 years. So that range.
If you asked them, what do you think they'd say why they stay? What do you think is the stickiness there?
You want to take that, Craig, or should I?
I'll start and you can finish it with that. What you heard at our events, Michael, they feels like family.
Mm-hmm.
And they like being part of something with the family. And it's just it's a great environment. It's just a great environment. And that's what they have shared with me. Jim?
I agree. I think we all know real estate can be a very lonely business when you're a single agent. And so they have the support of each other and they can bounce things off of each other, that type of thing. But in addition to that, they can actually accomplish their own personal goals as being a part of our team, both from work and from, a personal standpoint. I think they realize that being on our team is a very effective vehicle for them to accomplish their own personal goals in their personal life and have fun doing it.
Yeah, I totally saw that, right? To have the fun. And I mean, like, just the two people that are now best friends, right? Met because of the team and, had each other's back. And, I love a couple of the people also said, I can go on vacation and not worry about it, is I'm covered. I don't worry about it at all. I know everything's going to be covered. And there's something to be said about that, that support system, like a family, So how do you grow your team and, know that you're bringing on somebody that's a fit? And I'd love to talk about the kind of like agents that you've lost in the past, right? Why would somebody leave, right? And did you learn from that experience, or what did you learn from that experience?
Well, I'll address someone leaving, and then I'll let Jim know how we bring people on the team. We had a young lady come on our team as a buyer's agent probably 3 to 4 years ago, and she was a very sharp young lady, and she started doing really well. And she shared from the very beginning that her goal was to start a team down the road. I overlooked that when she shared that with me. I thought, well, that's going to happen, but not something in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take her serious. And I didn't share with her that what we could do is come along her, help her where we could grow her a team within the team.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I didn't communicate that with her because I thought it was too early. So that was a mistake on my part, or a learning opportunity on my part, is not hearing her sharing that information with me or ignoring her on that. So that was a learning opportunity where I truly believe if I would have shared that with her, she'd be really doing really well right now with the assistance of the team. So that was a learning opportunity on my end. But to bring new team members on, Jim can share with you a variety of different ways we find new team members.
And Craig, real quick before, addressing that thing is, what a great, if I were going to be in your area and want to build a team, building it within your team makes so much sense. I mean, because it would be, the model's already built, and it would be right there. The mentor's down the hall, So I love the team within a team concept, and anything's possible in real estate. That's what I love about it, right? It's like that agent probably was like, no, to build a team, I've got to go over here. I've got to be a silo. I've got to build it myself. Rugged individualism, right? Entrepreneur. And it's like, doesn't have to be that way. Team within a team is literally one of the best ways to build a team in this business because of the support system, because of the model. So love that.
Yes, if your listeners can learn from my learning opportunity, there is really listen to your team members, and I'll admit I was not listening and taking action on that.
Love it. Jim, so how do you grow your team? How many new members were in the room when I was at your team advance, or newer, and how do you grow your team and make sure that they're a fit? Part of the recruiting process.
There were probably 4 there that have been with us less than 2 years. And we weren't always this way. We used to be, we wanted to bring a buyer's agent on. We find somebody that had a license. They seem like a nice guy. Perfect. Let's bring him on.
Like every other brokerage in America, right? You had the same fog of mirror approach to recruiting, right? I get it.
And we were good at it.
A lot of living bodies in your area, right? Versus dead bodies. So I get it.
But as time went on and we became much more intentional, and again, especially as we got out of production and we established core values and et cetera, we realized I can train anybody to do this position. The key is you have to have the right people. We can teach anybody. You've got to have people that are committed, and you've got to have the right people, as you said, that's going to be a fit for the team. You've always been in those places where the one person walks in the room and everybody's like, oh man, here they are. And the energy changes. And we were aware of that. So we actually hired a consultant that we still use to this day. And one of the first things we do when someone is interested in joining our team, depending on where the source came from, I'll chat with them for just a few minutes. And then we have them take this consultant's online profile. And it's very, very in-depth. And then the consultant reviews it and then recommends pass or weak or too much ego or whatever. So they give us if this person makes it through the consultant, then we'll set up an interview and I'll talk to them much more in depth. And then based on that, we may do another interview where Craig and I meet with them. So it's a much more lengthy process and a much more intentional. And during this, we're going over our core values with them and et cetera, putting everything out there of, what the expectations are. And we don't try to make things sound like it's all wonderful. We want to make sure that they're really committed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love that. And the other benefit that a lot of places have found with the longer hiring process is that, number one, it tests the candidate for resilience. Will they keep coming back? But number two is when they do come back and they win a position on your team versus being given a position on your team. When they win it, they feel like they've done something. There's value to being on the team. So it makes them appreciate more, and it makes them even more committed when they, you're hired means something versus, when you go to a typical brokerage and they're like, oh, you got your license. Good. You're hired, So I love that. So what are some filters? Are there some filtering questions that you ask, or, how do you, as soon as possible, filter out the ones that you want out and filter in the ones you want in, right? How do you test for commitment? How do you test for some of these things?
You want me to take that, Craig?
Yep. You're the master interviewer.
Well, a lot of it, there's always certain questions we ask everybody, like tell us about a time in your life when you had to overcome a big obstacle. And you can see, are they willing to go deep with that or not? A lot of it is just looking at their past behavior in terms of, did they work in high school? What's driving them? The old Howard Brinton thing, right? What's driving them? So it's really, some of it, there's an intuitive aspect to it. And you can start to get to the root as you have the time for this and take the time to have these conversations with people. You start to uncover who you're really talking to and dealing with. Mm-hmm. It's hard for them to, if they're trying to mask who they are, if you've had 3 interviews with them, it's hard for them to do that those 3 times. And then we also have them talk to some of our team members. So if it's going to be a buyer's agent, we'll have them talk to some of our other buyer's agents so they can get a true understanding of what the position is going to be like. And we do, to add to your comment, Michael, we do have them frequently say, we really appreciate the level of intensity you're doing to make sure you're bringing the right people on the team.
Have you ever had them talk to the team and the team members are like, not sure if it's a fit?
We have not had them talk to the team, but we have had them talk to various team members. And then the team members will sometimes come back and talk about the conversation they had. But we've also had, Craig and I have had a couple of newer people that were going to join our team, and we wanted to really make sure that they knew what they were getting into. We thought they were going to be a great candidate. So we had them come in with their spouse, and we met with them together just to make sure that everybody was on board. Because if your spouse is not on board, it's not a good time.
So now that's interesting. So do you do dinner with all the candidates once they've been through 3, 4, 5 interviews?
No. And it's
just have the spouse come in.
Yeah, the spouse will come in, and we don't do that on every interview, but we have done some.
Yeah.
We try to talk them out of being hired.
Working for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we're setting the right expectation, so they don't come back and say, you know what, you didn't tell me about this.
Mm-hmm.
So especially
it's going to be hard work.
Yeah.
Money doesn't grow on trees, right? It's like you're gonna earn money. You gotta go kick some butt. Yeah, that's what I love about. Have you guys ever seen the Ernest Shackleton ad for the voyage to Antarctica or to the South Pole?
No.
So his ad was seeking rugged men for dangerous expedition, return alive doubtful. Like it was like so truthful, right? And like whoever like came to the meeting, like they're in it to win it. It was like, literally, it was like, you're going to die. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be really, really cold. And, when you get done, there could be very, very little recognition or, that kind of thing. It was like, dang, talk about setting expectations. And then guess what? They had trouble in the South Pole, but he actually, as a leader, went through a hurricane on a small boat to another island north of the South Pole, and ended up, did a hike. There's actually a Shackleford hike that's almost impossible. Like, people rarely make it, but he did it like in boots and a t-shirt, basically, and made it. And then he took a ship and went back and got them that, had been on the for several months, did not lose a single guy. Like nobody died. And one of the reasons I think he didn't lose a guy, other than his leadership and the fact that is that he got the right guys. He got the right people on that thing. He got the right people on the boat, So anyway, that's what that made me think of. It's just like, it's tough. It's hard. There's a lot of hours. It's going to be crazy. You're going to hate it here. You sure you want to work here? And they're like, yeah, I love it when I'm where I hate things, So good stuff. So it's what advice do you have for others who are growing a team? And Jim, you want to go first on that one?
Yeah, it's all about your people. I think it's really all about your people and the people that you bring on. And if you're not willing to grow, you can't expect your team to grow. So you have to be able to grow as an individual.
Love it. Craig, words of advice for somebody looking to grow a team.
I guess you have to ask yourself why you want to grow.
Mm-hmm.
There's a variety of different reasons. And are you trying to grow because you leverage yourself to earn more money? Do you want to grow so you want to leverage yourself to have more personal time? Do you want to grow to help others? I'm going to be truthfully honest. When I first got in the business and went with the team, it was out of necessity because I didn't have enough hours in the day to work. Mm-hmm. I needed to bring someone on to leverage myself so I could get some type of balance. And then when that worked out, then I said, well, I can make this grow where I can also help increase my income and have a little bit of life balance. But then when the light went off is when now we want to grow is to watch. It's so satisfying watching these people attain their dreams. Mm-hmm. And that's the satisfaction, Jim, and we're being very truthful here. Yep. It's neat to watch someone come in and they look at one of our other agents have been very successful and see the balance in their life, the income they're earning, and you can see in their eye like, wow, I wonder if I can ever do it. And then 2 or 3 years later, you see them blossom, and you're seeing them do it. Mm-hmm. And man, that is so gratifying. And then it becomes a family, because again, we're knowing more about their personal life. And that's very, very satisfying.
I love that answer because of the why. When I first got into real estate, when I started to build the team, it was because there was a lot of pressure in the real estate business at that time to build a team. Basically, if you weren't building a team, you were doing it wrong. And so I built a team for the wrong why. And then it was, I want to build a team for the numbers, right? For the numbers, because I wanted to see my name up on the board. I wanted to be recognized higher, do more transactions, and I thought they'd do more transactions if I had more people. And so I built it for the numbers. And then, that wasn't making me very happy. And then I was like, you know what? When I build a team, it's going to be with people I like, and it's going to be people who think like I do, who grow, who have my values of love, appreciation, and generosity. And all of a sudden, we did more transactions doing that than it was when the focus was transactions. It was more on helping people and I enjoyed going to work every day. It was the funnest thing. I loved going into the office because it was like a family. It was a professional, beautiful environment. But I didn't get any of that right until I figured out why the heck I needed to build a team, right? And then it was like Jim says, then it was the people. And how do you know if you're getting the right people on the bus? It's your core values. When we got the core values right, then all of a sudden things really, really accelerated. It took off, and I enjoyed it more. So you guys hit it on the head. with both of those is don't build a team for the recognition or the numbers or because you feel like you have to because some coach is telling you you got to build a team to be significant in real estate. And the flip side is you know what? First of all, get your core values, figure out where you want to grow personally, and then you're going to start attracting those people who want to grow like you do and have the same core values.
And
that's like a drop the mic. I mean, that is a drop the mic moment.
Life's too short. You spend more time with your team members than your own family at times.
Yeah.
Like when Jim and I go to these conferences, and then sometimes we hear how the team leaders are talking about their team members, we just come back and just thank our team members over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It makes us appreciate our team so much more. I mean, it's again, we're a family, so we do have family issues that do come up. That's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have those core values and you can communicate, we can resolve those issues as a family. So again, it's just so important. If you're in it just for the money and you're trying to level yourself with people and strictly money focused, you're going to have so much turnover. And you're not going to have a life. You're not going to have a life.
I love it.
But if you're in it to help others grow and you have the satisfaction seeing them grow, watch out. It's limitless.
Yeah, that's awesome. And all right, so other than your keynote speaker from the team advance, what was your favorite part of the team advance? Like you look at it throughout the whole day, what was your favorite part, your favorite moment of it? Jim, I'll have you go first, and then Craig, I'll have you go second, and then we'll go into closing.
Well, that's easy because I know you asked what was ours, but we send a survey out anonymously to the team and let them, vote for the things that they like the best. Obviously, you came in number one. But please, keep talking. No, yeah, please. You know what, Craig? We may not have time to get to you. By the way, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you are seeing in Jim's background a very key, very nicely placed, non-staged copy of 7L from one of the first 10,000 copies, by the way. It's a black with the silver. If you're not watching this, you're listening to it, then I encourage you to go to YouTube and just see his awesome background. You will love it. So surveys came in. Yeah. So basically, but right up there with you was our agent panel.
There you go.
The agent panel was very, very well received, more so than we really thought. And we had such good feedback on that agent panel from new people and more seasoned people, and for all different reasons. So that, I think, was probably one of our favorite parts.
Well, what was your favorite? What was your Jim McPhail highlight of the team advance? You loved all of it. You're in operations, right? So you love the fact that it went off without a hitch and nobody died, right? I mean, you're like, dude, we got through it, and you probably slept for a week afterward. So,
well, I think it was that the fact that it was fast moving. There was a good energy level. People were not bored. There was something for everyone. So I think it was a combination of just all, and the results were this was the best one we've ever had. Was the results that came out of it.
That's awesome. Craig?
It was the agent panel. Sorry, Michael, you were second, but it was the agent.
No, that's all right. I said other than me. The agent panel was really, I'm glad to hear that there's a 1B to go with the 1A. I just want you to know that. So,
but no, that was our first year doing the agent panel. And hearing the comments, like Jim said, from the newer agents plus seasoned agents, it was really helpful to them, because on our panel, they were all three different personalities. Mm-hmm. They were all 30 different personalities. And so the team could relate to at least one of them. And they all did it differently. They all did it differently on the panel. So that was exciting. And then afterwards, hearing the agents come up, it was pretty. And again, just as learning opportunities, we had a advance 4 or 5 years ago. We started at my house with these advances, and people loved being at the house. It was more laid back. Then we started outgrowing the house, and then we went to really one of my financial planners' offices that they let their clients use more of a formal office space. Oh, they hated it. It was just too formal. And then we found this new location that you were part of. It was in between it, where again it was out from my home, but we tried to bring couches in and comfortable chairs, so they had more of a laid back experience. So again, we have learned throughout the years shortcomings in the past, but this was the number one with the feedback from the team and the energy. But yeah, we will definitely have agent panels in the future.
Yeah, love that. I got a lot from it. And, I may have to have your agent panel on Referrals podcast, right? And just have the three of them and myself almost do like another agent panel and talk about the different strategies that they've used to get so much business and do so well in the business. I really enjoyed it as well.
I think your guests would love that.
Yeah. Also, I love that even in the final notes as we come to the end here, you gave another great nugget for our audience to make sure they implement when it comes to their team advance is the venue matters. Where you do it has to match the personality of the team. If your personality is very businesslike and that kind of thing, maybe a law office or a boardroom is the right environment. But if you're, and maybe if you're a smaller team and it's more family oriented, then maybe a house makes sense. But maybe you've got to figure out somewhere in between on that spectrum what makes the most sense for you as a venue. So I love that right off the bat. The venue matters, and it will affect how your team environment is for your team advance. So everything matters. I love it. Guys, I'm telling you, I see why I saw what I saw at the team advance. It's the leadership, it's the team, it's the core values, it's the hiring process, it's the recruiting, it's the it was so beautiful to watch. It was so beautiful to be a part of, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing some of the magic today.
Our pleasure.
So I will tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked what you saw today, you like what you heard today, do us a favor, rate it, review it, share it. Let other people know what we're doing at Referrals Podcast. If this has been great information for you, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. You can join GenGen by going to joingengen.com. It is a private group. There is a filter. We want to make sure your core values align with our core values. Then we let you in the group. You can go to joingengen.com. That's Join the Generosity Generation at joingengen.com. We'd love to have you. Let me know that you heard about it from the podcast, and let us know what you learned from Craig and Jim today. We really, really appreciate you tuning in. Every single time I get on here, I think I learn more than anybody. And today was no exception with Craig and Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you. I will see you on the next episode of Referrals Podcast. Have a great one. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and we'll see you next week.